Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. On today's video, I just wanted to touch on a couple of news items that have popped up on the forums. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was apparently New World has disabled family sharing. So anyone out there who is currently family sharing with somebody in their home, you're going to lose access to your family shared copies of the game as of today at 1 p.m. So the community manager posted, "Hi everyone, due to the increase of bots, gold sellers, and ban evaders, we decided to disable family sharing today at 1 p.m. in your local time zone. This decision was not taken lightly, and for players who utilize family sharing for a valid reason, we will update this post with instructions for assistance. Thank you for your understanding." So I'm not really sure what they're going to do to assist people, because they're not going to be handing out free copies of the game, and they can't allow some people to family share and not others. So we'll stay tuned and see where this goes. But I just wanted to give anyone a heads up who might be family sharing right now, and I know a few people who use family share accounts to store things, so you're going to lose access to those things. And the second thing I wanted to talk about, the dev blog update on the current issues. So we'll quickly go over this because there's some pretty big news in here. Hey adventurers, since launch, the team has been working hard to gather, investigate, and address issues surfaced by our players. We know how much our players care, and we resolve to be more transparent and communicate more frequently about how we're addressing issues. To begin, we want to provide an update on issues we believe are most critical to our community. So for character transfers, it is important to us that everyone has an opportunity to choose which server they are playing on. By the time you are reading this, character transfers will have been re-enabled, and most players should be able to move their characters. If you have any questions about transfers, please visit our fact post here, and then they provide a link. We are committed to making sure our community is satisfied with where they are playing long term. We will continue to monitor your feedback after this wave of character transfers is complete and offer additional transfers if needed. We are also working on region to region character transfers, but it is difficult to solve and will take time. In regards to full server status, in an effort to ensure that folks actively playing characters on a server are not competing in queue with new players, we have implemented a full server status to prevent new characters from being created. We monitor the active users on each world and ensure that the full server status continues to be accurate. We understand this may mean that new players are not able to play with their established friends, and that some worlds are not receiving the volume of new players that other servers may, and this can have a variety of impacts. We continue to monitor this situation and will make real-time adjustments accordingly, as well as provide 24-hour notice before a server is marked as full. So about the economy and deflation, this is the big one. We have seen a lot of feedback on the game's economy and wanted to share a recent update we posted in the forums. First, we want to start with our goals. We want a player-driven economy with minimal NPC interaction, where gold is valuable to all players, even endgame players. Touching on the current state of the economy, from a data standpoint, the economy is performing within acceptable levels. All servers are creating more money than is being removed, and by a good margin. However, the economy is tighter at the endgame currently. When we look at surplus income generated by level, it's very high in the 1 to 35 level range, decent in the 40 to 59 range, and gets narrow at 60. This means that as more players get to level 60, this will start to put more pressure on the economy. The above chart, this one here, shows the difference between gold that comes into the economy and gold that goes out. Players are consistently generating a positive gold balance every day, but there is a downward trend. If this trend continues and we get closer to a negative in-out, we will take action. Our goal is to drive this value to zero, or make it so no one can amass wealth. We want to ensure that overall gold balance per server stays in check, so coin remains important. There are two big changes that will help the endgame economy. One happened last patch, and one just happened. The first is fixing the Azoth staff bug. This will allow players to complete high-level corrupted breaches, which generate good gold per hour. Second, we just turned Outpost Rush back on. Outpost Rush is a great source of income and will really help endgame players. We want to see the impact these fixes have before we make other larger changes. We also want to remind everyone that there is a big gold bonus, 10 times, for your first 3 faction missions each day. This isn't well communicated in game, so we'll work on improving that. Make sure you run 3 faction missions each day to help your personal gold balance. In our November major release, not a weekly patch, we have a slew of economic focused updates and bug fixes aimed at improving the current state of the economy. Some of the general fixes are: reduce durability lost from PvP deaths by 10%, extended housing tax periods from 5 days to 7 days without increasing tax amount, reduced attribute respec coin cost by 60%, reduced the quantity of honey gained from apiaries by 50%, and the amount of milk from cows by 65%. Honey trees are unaffected by this change. We made this change because the volume of milk and honey in the world is higher than our initial estimates. The bees and cows are happy about this change. All trading posts will be linked. The change was made to strengthen the economy's less traveled territories and ensure item availability in all territories. Fees for buy and sell orders are defined by the settlement that you're posting them from. Transaction taxes on purchases you make are defined by the settlement in which you are making the purchase from. Items listed in sell orders that expire are returned to the settlement from which they were posted. It is no longer possible to place items on the trading post for 28 days. The maximum is now 14 days. We are amping the potency of expeditions by doing the following. Increased coin gain from expeditions bosses starting at Starstone Barrows by 25% and ramping up to endgame expeditions by 100% per boss. Reduce the coin cost of each of the tuning orbs and increase the corrupted shards players earn from minor and major corrupted breaches. Reduced coin cost of chisels by 20 to 50% depending on the tier. We fixed a few issues that was causing the attribute perk mods to not be usable in crafting repair kits. We fixed an issue that was causing using repair kits to cost coin. Repair kits should only cost coin in the process of being crafted. Economy exploits in coin farming. Regarding coin and item dupes, we apologize for disabling the player trade economy. Players found a coin item dupe bug when player trading and were exploiting it heavily. They will be penalized for that behavior. We took immediate steps to mitigate the long-term economic impact by disabling trades in the short term. While we worked on addressing the root cause, it was not a decision that was made lightly, but we feel the ability to trade and improve settlements is an important and fun aspect of our game we aim to preserve. We have permanently banned players who exploited the coin item dupe issue. In our efforts to mitigate this issue, we inadvertently introduced a new issue that enabled coin duplication via territory upgrades. We have addressed this as well in our next hotfix, where we re-enabled trading company transactions, as well as removed any dupe coin from the companies who exploited the issue or accidentally triggered it. We are able to track how much coin was received from exploitive behavior, and we will investigate and take steps against companies that have exploited this. We understand the frustration caused by trades being off and want to ensure that no one suffers in-game financial losses as a result from disabling wealth transfer methods. In the long term, if town maintenance is behind on a territory your company owns, or if you are unable to afford your taxes due to this, we will provide a make good. On the topic of coin farming, we know many of you have seen the annoying chat messages from the players spamming gold sales. We were continuing to investigate solutions to this issue. Many coin sellers were creating new characters and transferring money to other accounts. To combat this, our weekly patch included banned and suspended many of the reported accounts, as well as bot accounts that were holding gold. Thank you for your reports for players spamming chat. Added restrictions to prevent player-to-player trading and currency transfers from characters under level 10, or whose account is less than 72 hours old. Logging in after your account is 72 hours old will enable your ability to trade and transfer currency once you've hit level 10. Redistributed coin value from some early quests to later in the main story quest line. Trading post usage will be restricted until new characters accept the quest introduction to the trading post. So then this covers the fixes that they made to the outpost rush, which we already covered in the patch notes. Client-side authority. There was a recent bug in New World that drove some speculation on how our simulation works. The bug was addressed quickly, but both the speculation and the bug deserve some clarity and explanation. To be very clear, New World is not client authoritative from a simulation standpoint. New World is entirely server-based. At a high level, the model is this. Clients dispatch controller inputs to the server, and the server then checks that input for the limits that might invalidate it. Then, if accepted, uses it as an input to a character within server memory. Physics and game rules are then run entirely server-side, and the outcome is sent back to the original client. Clients will then draw the outcome determined by the server. Then they go into great detail for a long time here, explaining why New World isn't client-side authoritative program. If you would like to read this, be my guest. It's a lot of jargon. Now on to moderation. It is important to us that New World be fun, inclusive, and a safe place for everyone in our community. We have seen several issues arise regarding in-game moderation that we want to address. First, we do enforce our code of conduct. As players report violation they see in-game, those reports go into a queue to be reviewed by our moderation team. No player reports are moderated without a person reviewing the details of the report. Our team can make mistakes, and we are continuing to train up our growing army of moderators. So basically what they're doing with this section is, again, reasserting that don't have an auto-ban program when people mass report. I'm not entirely sure if I believe that, but let's take them at their word. Now for war lag. War is a critical feature in New World, so many other systems in the game benefit from claiming and holding territories. War also creates fun and dramatic gameplay moments that are exciting for players and exciting for our team to watch. We have been tracking all the feedback and issues players have been bringing to our attention, but the elephant in the room is the exploits that have been plaguing the feature. In particular, the now common practice of spamming the Ice Gauntlet, Fire Staff, or the Life Staff in order to create latency problems while capturing control points. We've made some initial changes here that were achievable in short development cycles, and we are working on further updates with higher impact that need longer testing to preserve balance. As we stated at the start, war is the focus point of New World, and your feedback on its design and gameplay is important to us. We will continue to explore war design in an upcoming dev blog. And then they talk about invasion difficulty and participation. Recently, there was some confusion over invasions and how they relate to territory downgrades. How far you make it into an invasion does not determine how many stations will be downgraded if you fail the invasion. The number of downgrades your territory will incur if you fail are tied directly to the territory level of your settlement. The higher your territory level, the more downgrades you will incur if you fail. Successfully repelling an invasion will ensure that no upgrades are regressed. Then they go on to talk about individuality and the rewards you can receive through participation. Then they talk about patch schedule and downtimes, which I don't think we really need to talk about because it's just an argument about making it more convenient for everyone, and that will never be solved. Now, how does luck work? This is a big one. There's always argument about this. Recently, we have received a lot of questions about how luck works in New World. Luck of the general type, as opposed to the types of gathering luck that you see on something like a sickle or a food buff, affect your chances to roll higher on our list of items that come from enemies and containers like stockpiles. In the case of furniture schematics found in furniture items, the higher end storage items are among the most rare. Increasing your luck will definitely make this more likely to occur, but as with all luck, there's no guarantee you'll get it. Then they address here why they remove gold from fishing chests, which was the bots. We're all aware of that, and they say they're not going to put it back. Perks and gems. There are currently many issues with how perks and gems are functioning. For example, the Resilient perk is granting damage absorption instead of critical damage absorption. The team is looking into the situation, as this is not intended behavior. Our goal is to have all issues with perks solved by our November monthly release. The 250 strength bug. There's currently an issue where once your strength attribute reaches 250, you can no longer roll. This is a bug, and the team is working to address it. Then they talk about people's complaints about property taxes, but they're not going to change those. Faction tokens, the world clock bug, if you have been affected by this. The images in chat. Following update 1.0.4, we discovered an issue where players were able to post images and other links into the chat that resulted in unsavory behavior. That should resolve this issue and prevent players from abusing and exploiting this feature. Then they fixed the crouching and the healing. And here's where they address the watermark system. Where people have a lot of confusion is when it comes to this section. Not all enemies and containers, including event reward containers from Outpost Rush, war invasions, etc., are created equal in the high watermark system. While you always have a small chance to see a high watermark increase when defeating a level 60 plus creature or searching a container in a level 60 plus landmark, each level beyond 60 has a soft upper limit on the likelihood of a high watermark increase. Similarly, event reward containers will respect your current high watermark and also have a small chance of increasing it. What this means is you'll reliably see watermark increases up to 530 when defeating level 61 enemies. Your chances of seeing something beyond 530 from a level 61 enemy is significantly lower than it is from a level 62 enemy. Level 64 plus enemies are capable of reliably dropping up to gear score 600. So what this says is that event reward containers from Outpost Rush and war evasions, they will respect your current high watermark, and also have a small chance of increasing it, because this has been a huge topic of debate all over Reddit, all over the comments of every video I've ever seen, and even a few of my videos. Now I know people are still going to argue, but right here is where the devs say that event reward containers will respect your current high watermark and also have a small chance of increasing it. And then they end with talking about communication and how they've been listening to people's feedback and plan to improve their communication with us. So I know, guys, this was a really long one, and I'm sorry about that. If you made it to the end, congratulations, that's amazing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.